Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. Isn't it great to have Manchester United back playing football? So excited about the lineup as well. We've gone super strong. I mean, we spoke about this in the preview, didn't we? And it's really interesting because will he mix and match? Will he go as strong as he could? Well, I think he's gone as strong as he can. If you look at that lineup next to me there, that, to me, I mean, you can argue about the goalkeeper and potentially you can argue about the right back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's not even there. But that, for me, is Man United's strongest 11. I won't have it any other way. I think it's United's strongest 11. I love that he's gone with that midfield. I think the temptation was there to go with Eriksen or McTominay. I don't think you realise how big that is to play Mainu, Casemiro and Bruno. We know it. We want to see it. But I didn't think, like a few others, I didn't think it was absolutely guaranteed that Ten Hag would do it. So I applaud that straight away. Obviously, no Marcus Rashford. I don't think anybody expected that. It's great to see Luke Shaw, Martinez, Varane back. I think that look, Newport, Højlund up front, of course, Garnacho, yeah. Martinez is back, the Butcher. I don't see, I mean, look, anything can happen in football. Anything can happen in football, and we mustn't be too dismissive. But I don't see anything other than let's get 3 or 4-0 up, and then let's move towards Wolves, and get people like Harry Maguire who's on the bench back and involved. Give him some minutes as well. I don't see any issues really with that. Obviously, you've got to go and get the goals, but. And I think you want to get that early goal as soon as possible. But confidence-wise, I think this is a clever idea by Ten Hag, and you go with these players, and it's an opportunity for Mainu to show what he's all about with the defensive know-how of Casemiro next to him. It's an opportunity for Anthony. Bienda might actually have nothing to do looking at that team in front of him. I hope he gets a little bit of a chance to do some stuff, but he might not have much to do. On the bench for Manchester United, you've got Tom Heaton, Johnny Evans, Kambwala, Maguire, Ahmad, Eriksen, Forson, McTominay and Pellistri. So, look, I would like to see United 4-0 up after an hour, and, you make those substitutions that you can make, and you give other people a bit of time. That's what I think. It's now or never for Ten Hag. I mean, I have to say that it's now or never for Ten Hag, isn't it? If he not necessarily this game, but the Wolves game on Thursday, the West Ham game, the Villa game after that, the next 3 Premier League games, it's now or never. He can't afford to be losing them. So we need to. This is a cup game. It's on the telly. People will be watching. People will be hoping that there is some sort of shock. I mean, it'd be incredible if there was. It'd be devastating if there was as well. But what Man United need to do today is treat this game exactly how I think he has treated it. Disrespect this tournament, and bad things can happen. No weakness in that team, really. I think that they're all players that are going to play for Ten Hag, which is really important. I think it's so important to have people like Martinez back. And in a way, without being too disrespectful to Newport, it's a chance for this team to build some fluidity and chemistry. What Ten Hag can't do is keep changing his team every week. We've got to build out some sort of rhythm. And I think that today that becomes a possibility. What's your score prediction, says Dip. If I tell you my score prediction, you're not allowed to laugh. My score prediction is 6-0. That's what I've gone with. And I think it's hard to predict, really. Great starting team, but sad not to see Ahmad start, says Ryan. Yeah, I mean, look, I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen Ahmad start over Anthony, I can guess. I can see that. I can see that in the chat. I understand that. But, I'm not... I think I'm not finished with Anthony, if that makes sense. I still think that it's too early to write him off. I think he's got 4 months. Let's see what he can do. This is the team we've wanted to see all season. If Bienda plays well and looks like he can handle the pressure, I'd start him for the rest of the season. Well, obviously, Onana went out last night with Cameroon, so he will be back in the team for Wolves, of course. I think that Ten Hag's always going to stick with him. I don't see any change there. I would have played Varane and Anthony. Don't want to risk Varane. So I wouldn't have played Varane and Anthony, says Alex. Don't want to risk Varane to injury and use Kambwala as for Anthony. Just got a good enough. Yeah, look, I think we spoke about this in the preview, didn't we? There is a temptation not to go fully strong. The pitch is not going to be great. This is not going to be a great pitch that we're going to play on. So the temptation may well be to not go that strong. You don't want to pick up any injuries. But I think, look, we're not playing as many games as we would have done if we were in Europe. And I think the most important thing for Ten Hag between now and the end of the season is to try and display some sort of cohesion and rhythm and plan. And if he keeps changing his team every game, results, but there's got to be more than that. And I think that's why he's played his strongest team tonight, is to give a bit of, competitive rhythm to what is hopefully going to be his best 11. Dylan, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Does anyone know what... I've got Liverpool on here. I mean, it's on BBC One, that's why. Yeah, FA Cup's weird in the UK. It's all over the place, but God, Lineker. Oh, what a horror. That's like looking in a toilet. I've just turned it on. I just had Lineker's face really in 4K. Ugh. Anyway, internal matter, says Tim Robinson. I presume we're talking about what Ten Hag has said about Marcus Rashford. Obviously, we're going to talk about that. Would you sell the entire bench, Mark, says Liam. No, I wouldn't be selling Ahmad or anybody like that. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think that's necessarily a required thing. But nice to see Rasmus looking happy, players looking happy in the warm up. Good to see that. Just going to bring you these Ten Hag quotes because I knew that this was going to be a big talking point before the game, and he has spoken ahead of the game. Manchester United have put a statement out actually. An hour ago. Marcus Rashford's not well enough to be in the squad for Newport following illness. He has stayed at Carrington to train as he recovers. That's the statement from Manchester United. Ten Hag has spoken ahead of the game and said in every competition we're in, we want to win. We're not in a moment where we can underestimate anyone. Of course, we have had the FA Cup 5th round draw. We sadly didn't get Maidstone. That would have been lovely. That would have been a great story and it would have been an easy game for us. But we have got Nottingham Forest or Bristol, which I think went to a replay on Friday. So we're probably going to be playing Forest again, aren't we? That's my feeling on it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is missing because of a precaution. Some people asking about that. He's missing because of a precaution. I can't see any quote from Ten Hag on Marcus Rashford anywhere. You've got to deal with the opposition. Yep. Newport. I can't see anything on Rashford and Ten Hag. So if anybody has seen a comment from him, then please do point me in the direction of it and I'll be happy to talk about it. But I can't see anything officially coming in relation to that. You'd think he would be asked about it at some point, but I can't see anything other than the statement that came out from Manchester United. So there we go. I'm just glad that he went with Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro, says Football Goals Channel. And when he dealt with Sancho, people said he did it wrong. So if he handles Rashford differently than Sancho, will people still moan, do you think, says Jake. Jinx Bridge has made it 6-0 to Newport. Yeah, we're not going to lose. Josh Dude is a dude. He's just gifted 20 memberships. What an absolute legend this early in the stream. Thank you very much, Josh. Get your badge in. I sincerely believe that Rashford needs to go, says Marcus S. He and Sancho cut from the same cloth. Get rid of ASAP. This season scrambled my expectation of United. In any other era, I'd be safe 4-0, but the pitch is crap. Mentality and away. How can I feel worried, says SK. Thank you very much for that. Eric Ten Hag says it's an internal matter and he looked angry, says Gaz. So there is a quote about what Ten Hag has said. And Ten Hag on Rashford's absence. This is from the United Stand. It's an internal matter. So, yeah, there's an issue there, isn't there? I think this is something that we're just going to... and thank you, Tony Cox, who's been a member for 40 months. He says that on a BBC interview, Eric Ten Hag has said it's an internal matter. So there we go. What happens then? Look, I think that the only thing I would say is that if it... As I said to you all last night, I'm shocked by this. And I think There's some very good people, and I like Ten Hag. The belief was that he went out on Wednesday night. United have found out it's Thursday night. I don't have it categorically true, but if they were going to defend him, they could have defended him. I think they're angry. I think they're frustrated. And obviously, Rashford's let himself down big time. And look, if United go and win well with this team, he won't play against Wolves. It's as simple as that. He'll be on the bench, won't he? And I think that's probably the best place for him. But I'm not going to pass any comment on it. I think we've got to get positively behind this team. Go out there, get a good result. It's been a really difficult season. We've had things like this going on for a long time. I refuse to get distracted today. There's plenty of time next week to talk about this. I want to focus on those players, the players that are on the bench, the players that are ready to play for Manchester United. And as I said last night, it's over to you, Ineos and Sir Jim, because if you want to continue, building a team around toxic elements, then we will keep coming back to these problems. There needs to be a hard reset at that football club. And, maybe Marcus Rashford can be part of that hard reset. Maybe he can't. But somebody needs to make that decision. It's a shame. Looking forward to seeing some good midfield football today. Great opportunity to show what we can do with Mainu and Casemiro, says John Davies. Thank you very much for that. So kickoff is at 4:30. Manchester. I'm not going to even focus on the Newport starting 11 because I'd be a liar. I'm just looking at the pitch. It doesn't look terrible. Compared to what Old Trafford is, which is a carpet, that still looks like a very good pitch. Seb was playing this morning and that's a bad pitch. But another clean sheet. He loves Harry Maguire. He just loves Harry Maguire. He said at the end of the game, did I play like Harry Maguire? And I sort of had to say, yeah, you played well. Which is that how you play? I don't know. Our illnesses PR cover for disciplining players, says Dan Mason. And finally, we have the back four from last season. Hopefully the goalie is good, says Daniel. I want to see this team playing on Thursday night. I want to see this team go out and play so well in the first half that it automatically plays on Thursday. I want to see this team, wipe their arse with Newport. And I know that's a bit unfair on Newport, but I want to see them go out because the only thing that can go wrong in these games, if you win 6-0, everyone goes, oh, it's Newport. It can only go wrong. You've got to be focused, you've got to be on it, and you've got to want it. Because it can only go wrong in a game like this. If we win 6-0, no one's going to go, oh, we're going to win the league. We're going to win the cup. People will just go, it's just Newport. So it's going to require professionalism, patience, and you need to show Seb some clips of the butcher, says Turp. Yeah, we do. Newport's starting striker is called Seb, says LP. There we go. I'm looking forward to seeing how good this team can play, says Tony Cox. Scooby said Rashford sets training standards. Yeah, says JJJ. And Dej, welcome to the Members Club. Well, I watched some of that McTominay interview. And, McTominay's obviously in awe of Marcus Rashford. That comes across, doesn't it? And that's the issue. Look, Marcus Rashford is admired within Manchester United Football Club. And he is, whether he's a leader or not, he's a role model. You can hear that when you listen to Scott McTominay talking. So you don't want role models in your dressing room who can't be asked to turn up for training. It's as simple as that. And I still think there's a story to come out here, but it doesn't look good, does it? It doesn't look good. This has to be our midfield for the rest of the season, says Liam Allen. Thank you very much for that. Thank you all very much for the super chats that are coming in early on. You can do that through the $sign, of course. We'll read those out. Gone are the days where they get missed because I've actually got a list which is just super chats and normal chats, so I don't miss them anymore. So thank you very much for that. Oliver has donated and said, hi Mark, would you rather Howard Webb gets the sack and they bring in someone who knows what they're doing, or United finish top 4 this season? Love your channel, you're the man. Well, Howard Webb's not my responsibility. I want Man United to finish top 4. Do you think Ten Hag will start giving Binder more game time? No, I don't. I think he's going to go with Onana. Joe Dillon, thanks for being a member for 31 months. And Baldwin says top 4 is impossible this season when the 350k a week salary man goes clubbing. It's interesting, member Christian, welcome to the Members Club. I'm going to give Mrs. Goldbridge a shout out here. We were having Sunday lunch and it was absolutely a star. Roast potatoes, chicken, stuffing. It was like a carrot and Swede mash, and then runner beans. It was a bread sauce, delightful dinner. And I just mentioned during the dinner, oh, God knows what's going on with Rashford. And she says, she's not really into football. She says, I've seen that. And I said, yeah, but I just don't understand it. There's got to be another story. There's got to be another story. Why'd you go out in Belfast the night before training? And she said, maybe he's just had enough. I felt like saying, yeah, you don't know anything about football. And then I was like, what do you mean maybe he's had enough? She said, well, he's had a lot from a young age. He's rich. He's got, you don't know who's hanging around with him. Maybe he doesn't see playing for Manchester United as importantly as you and your fans do. And I thought, that's the best thing you've ever said about football. Why don't you talk about it more? Because I did think, well, actually, we are passionate. That's why we're sat here doing this. Doesn't mean a footballer is. Maybe Marcus Rashford isn't that bothered. Maybe he isn't in love with Man United or football anymore. Jadon Sancho missed 3 months of football last year. Not this season when he was suspended. He missed 3 months of football last year. He wasn't injured. He's on 300k a week playing for Man United, and he needed to go away from football for 3 months. Let's not pretend that every footballer is an obsessive about Manchester United and winning. It takes all sorts in this world, and, maybe Rashford's rebelling. Maybe he wants out. I don't know. There has to be. I mean, to me, it's amazing that our biggest earner would be so disrespectful. But maybe he wants out. Maybe, I don't know. There has to be an explanation. I actually think sorry would be quite disappointing, because sorry would be, well, we've already had an apology before. You've already done this after the Manchester derby. I actually want to know why. We won't be told why, but I actually want to know why. I want to know the reason why. As somebody was saying before, to be fair, Mark, he's gone out in a city that doesn't have many Manchester United fans in, and he's been really unlucky. Now, that's sarcasm, because Belfast has got fucking loads of Manchester United fans in it, and there endeth the lesson. Why would you go out in a nightclub the night before training in a different country, in a place where most people know who you are because they support Manchester United? And sorry doesn't cut it, because it's pure obvious that you're going to get spotted and photographed and filmed. So has it been done on purpose? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's more to come. Thomas says your missus unknowingly depresses the fans, and he can donate his 350k a week to charity then, says Carl Jolly. Marcus has got to learn, going out then calling in sick. Muppet, says Neil. The defence and midfield I've been waiting to see, says JJ. United to win 4-0, Hoyland hat-trick, says Lee. Good afternoon, Mark. Takeaway if we win, fake away if we lose, says Rudgy. And Liam Allen says, need to try and keep this team for the rest of the season. The midfield and the back four is strong. Hopefully it gives Bruno more creative options. Well, one thing I will say about that team is we need to see Bruno Fernandes discipline today. I mean, he doesn't need to be wandering to, right back, left back, holding midfield. Like, leave it. Leave it to Casemiro. Leave it to Mainu. Stay in the number 10 position. And, I want to see... Look, Marcus Rashford has a lot of shots. Marcus Rashford doesn't create many chances for Hoyland. Marcus Rashford's not in the team today. Not been dropped. Well, maybe he has, I don't know. This could be a real opportunity. This fan base is craving positivity and a path and a vision. If those wingers and Bruno can get creative today, I know it's only Newport, but it's a step. It's a step, isn't it? The defence and midfield I've been waiting to see. Thank you very much for that. I think his celebration against Spurs proves your wife right. Arrogance from him when he has been trashed this season. I honestly think cares more about his Twitter haters than actually playing. And Christian says, you're right. That was from KFJ. Christian says, you're right. You're right that Rashford must have known how it would look, says Christian. And could player accountability be improved by involving fans in the post-match analysis when 350k a week explains to 20k a year why they couldn't be bothered, says Mank. And Football Fanatics, great to see Casemiro back. And James Clough says, I feel like United are partly responsible for this Rashford stuff. We gave him too much too young, says James. And Lee W, legend, has just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much for that, Lee. 21,000 of you watching, by the way. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. It's just great to be back. I don't want to talk about Rashford anymore. I mean, if people want to, I will answer them. But obviously, I don't want to talk about it. We're 9 minutes away from kickoff. The Butcher's back. Varane is back with the Butcher. Luke Shaw is back. Casemiro is back. You know, I want to see this to be the start of something, and hopefully it can be. In relation to subscribers, we're on the road to 2 million. We're not quite there yet, but you can help us get there. We're on 813,700, so we're 300 away from 814. Let's see if we can hit that today. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand. We've got Fabrizio Romano on the show tomorrow as well as we move towards transfer deadline day. Could we be seeing Aaron Wan-Bissaka leaving? I think Pellistri is going to go as well. Doesn't sound like there's going to be any incomings. Some of you'd sell Marcus Rashford. That's not going to happen in the January transfer window. But we've also got my match reaction where you can do the player ratings, as always, the fan forum as well. Lots to get involved in as Man United come bouncing back, hopefully. Well, certainly in relation to games. We've got a game on Thursday night in the Premier League. Then we've got a game next Sunday. It's just good to be getting games back for Manchester United, isn't it? And hopefully there is something we can do. We've got to hopefully as well avoid injury. That's going to be absolutely massive for us. But look, PSG wants Rashford, says Nicholas. Well, they've always wanted him. The thing about Rashford is, if you want to sell him, it's not a problem. Wages, fee, there is a club. But do you think Johnny Evans and Marcus Rashford were at the nightclub together, says young JD? I doubt Johnny Evans would be at a nightclub with Marcus Rashford. I don't think that fits really. I wish Diallo was still starting. Would like to see more of him, says Grace. Well, I think we will see Harry Maguire. I think we will see Ahmad in the second half. I think we'll see Eriksen. Like, that makes total sense. I know it's not that's football, but what are your thoughts on Xavi leaving Barcelona at the end of the season? I don't think he's done a great job, Gary, to be honest. I think Barcelona are desperately trying to start something, aren't they? And it'll be interesting to see where they go next. Thank God Rashford isn't playing. Hopefully he's now dropped for a while. His greedy, selfish ass can get back into order, says Jared. Lee W, we did that. Can't be asked with asking players who don't understand what playing for this club means. I would be looking at our under-18s instead of playing ungrateful gits, says Mario Franco. And Andreas says, we all know that he is just waiting for Erik ten Hag to get fired and he doesn't care about the fans or the club. He knows he's untouchable because of his salary, says Andreas. Well, this is what worries me. This genuinely worries me. You know, I don't think you're necessarily right, Andreas, but it is a concern of mine that, you know, Rashford basically sided with his mate Sancho because he's never really played well for us at all this season. And if that's the case, Ten Hag shouldn't pick him. You know, wages or not, you can't carry a player that might not even be playing for you. So I think he's got to be very, very careful about how he handles this, Ten Hag, because really you need Rashford playing at his best, but he's not been playing at his best all season. And is it a bit of a player power thing that's going on? I don't know. I find it all baffling, to be honest with you. I just don't get it. It's not like we're talking about Rooney or Ronaldo here, says DG. Rashford's bang average. Better players have been sold for less. It's time to get rid of the rot within the club. And also, Rashford has reached a level of arrogance, says Robert McCourt, and thinks he can do what he wants without consequences. You guys are in a better position than Barcelona. You could get one of our guys, Rodrigo, and heal your left wing, says I'm Tetsu. I don't think the Barcelona situation is that great, is it really? Pity Mount isn't available yet. That would have been a good game for him to be in. Still got a good feeling about Mount. So it's Razor Wolf. And Mohammed, thanks for being a member for 22 months. It's actually incredible, isn't it, the Mason Mount situation? I mean, you spend £55 million on a player and he's had 2 injuries. I'm loving that view of this pitch, by the way. I'm so glad that this is being played at Newport as well. Lovely fairy tale Sunday FA Cup game. The superstars of Manchester United playing Newport County. And professionalism is what we're going to need here. Professionalism and focus. No pissing about. You got to want, you know, first thing you got to do in any game is you got to want it as much as the opposition, and then your ability's got to come out. Thomas says, Mark, the fact is we need to move on from Rashford. It's sad, but when we look in the mirror as a club, it becomes very clear that he's hurting the club. There you go. There you go. Okay. Right. Players are just about to walk out onto the pitch here. Thank you, everybody who is tuning in. Very, very excited to have Manchester United back playing football. That's what I will be saying first of all. It's been a long wait, that 2 weeks. And I think we've done well on the United stand over the last couple of weeks to get through it. So well done, everybody. But we're now back playing football. First time that solid back four from last season plays together, says Sia. So both teams coming out. What was that? Somebody just had a picture here. Harry Maguire, your pants. Can I have them, please? Oh, don't you just love the banter of a football pitch, of a football crowd? Harry Maguire, can I have your pants? And it was a bloke holding up the sign. Oh, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Anyway, hi Mark, always fantastic show. 5-0 today, says Krista. Who will you sign in the summer? Best regards from Norway. I've got no idea about the summer, mate. I'm very much focused on... Look, every day is a drama with Manchester United, isn't it? Every day it feels like we've got a drama going on. So what I want to do is... The summer's going to take care of itself with what Ineos and Sir Jim are going to do. Martin, hope you're doing well. He's on TikTok there. I hope that the summer will take care of itself. I'm actually looking forward to today, the next few games, the next few weeks. Can we build some momentum into the summer, into next season? Everyone talks about the summer and that being the reset. But if we get it right, the momentum can start now, and then you take that into the summer. That's what I would love to see. Really love to see. Mark Scott says, definitely time for Rashford to go. I genuinely think we can get 50 million for him. I think we can get 80. Neil Trethway, thank you very much for your generous super chat there, you legend. Hi, Mark. That was from Krista. When Rashford did that arrogant celebration, I was done with him. Clubbing in Belfast was just the icing on the cake. Very disappointed, says Nigel. My team playing in my hometown, Mark. I love it, says DJ. Love that as well. So we're about ready to go. And I'm certainly ready to go for this. I'm going to go 6-0. That is obviously very optimistic, I know, and some might say disrespectful, but foot on the pedal, go out there, get a result, simple as. That's what I'm thinking. Play Rashford if it benefits Man United, sell when it suits. Don't emotionally bench a player, it teaches the wrong thing, says Nico. Well, I don't think we're even at that point now. Just a reminder in relation to the FA Cup draw, that's already been made for the next round. If United were to win here, they will play Bristol City or Nottingham Forest. But I think that game was drawn on Friday, and therefore we will. I think the second leg. I think the replay is at Forest, so they'll probably win that. Jack Stewart, thanks for being a member for 2 months. Remember, you can join the members club by clicking the join button, get your badge in the chat. Nice to see so many of you in there. Thank you very much. Stefan on TikTok says, what do you think about the embarrassing scenes in the crowd earlier in the Wolves game? Well, it is embarrassing. You know, you get some people who sort of give it the big one about that sort of stuff, but it's 2024 and it is embarrassing. And of course, club rivalry exists, but, you know, if I'm walking into a pub and I see some Liverpool fans, we're probably going to have a chat about Klopp leaving, and you know they're going to probably have a chat about how crap United are at the moment. I would hope to think that we're not going to. Well, I'm certainly not going to start throwing punches. It's just, I think that sort of thing needs to just stop. That you don't need to have a fight over rivalry. It's just not. Leave it in the 80s. You know, move on. Anyway, we're up and running here. The timer's up and running for you as well. And lovely to see Manchester United back. Milton Davis, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for that. Don't forget, we'll have player ratings that you can vote for in the second half. And I will say this. when Manchester United or Liverpool or anybody is playing a team in League Two, then you should be all playing at least 7, 8 out of 10. There's no excuse to have a bad game today for anybody. So let's see what we can do. We've got to move the ball well and use our physicality. I've seen a few people saying that Casemiro looks a little bit, I hate to use the word, but somebody used the word chubby Miro in the chat on social media, which I think is, not very nice. But it's going to be interesting because remember, Casemiro and Martinez haven't played a lot of football, so fitness is going to be a key, I think. It is on the TV, Jack. It's on BBC One in the UK. I heard Newport is a Welsh team. Is Manchester United capable of beating Welsh teams, says Ivan. And what do you want to see today, says Blicky94. I want to see a Manchester United win. I want to see Manchester United win. PT5 says, could I trouble you for a time check so I'm in sync? Well, it's literally there next to my finger. If you're on YouTube, 1 minute and 40. Who is Forson? He played on the pre-season tour, Kai. He's a winger, isn't he? Nice to watch a United game with no VAR, says Enrique. Yeah, well, here is United. First few minutes, I think, is going to be quite physical. Not expecting United to really get hold of it. I mean, we might not get hold of the game in the sense of beautiful football. The pitch is not brilliant. I hope Binder claims that #1 spot, says Ryan. My concern about Binder is he might not even get to make a save. Like, I don't know how straightforward this could be for United. Garnacho in the box and loses the ball there. Good play, Bruno. Might be worth it. Oh, he's laid it off to Delo. I think Delo. It might have been worth a shot there. I love this. I love this pitch, by the way. I love the Anthony with a cross shot. I'm loving the whole gap behind the goal. It really does feel FA Cup tie from the. I hate to say this because some of you won't be anywhere near old enough. It feels like an FA Cup tie from the late 80s to me. I mean, look, you've got that. You've got a crowd of people watching it from a house on scaffolding. It's just got a lovely. It's starting to get dark. It's winter. It's got that lovely atmospheric cup tie feel, and this is the beauty of the FA Cup. We're so snobby about our football, but this is the beauty of the FA Cup. I remember Man United playing Burton Albion a few years ago, and it was the same. Ronaldo and Rooney away at Burton, and I just love it. I'm loving I'm loving the fact that it is a small ground, and the pitch probably is a bit difficult, and it's a massive day for Newport. And I won't love it if we lose, though. I'll bloody hate Newport. I reckon Hoyland's going to get a hat-trick, says Tristan. Nice to see Mainu higher up, says Casper. And it could be a perfect summer for us. Mbappe out to Madrid and Rashford into PSG. Cash in and move on, says Alden. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Daniel says Bristol City are going to beat you. I think Bristol City are going to go out, mate, aren't they? Because didn't they miss the chance against Forest on Friday night? Yeah, they had their chance on Friday. They drew 0-0 at home. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything from that. Anyway, Newport with a chance to whip a cross in. And United clear it away. Mark, would have selling Rashford and McTominay be helpful to FFP because they're academy graduates? Yeah, it's pure profit, Joe. Headed away by Delo. Anthony's got it. I remember watching Wrexham knock Arsenal out the FA Cup. I think Arsenal were wearing that bruised banana kit, so it would have been the early 90s. Anyone remember that? I'm sure United have been knocked out in the FA Cup by some shitty little team, but I can't. None really comes to mind in the FA Cup. Elio, welcome to the Mambas Club on YouTube. You're a legend. Thanks everyone who's watching on TikTok as well, giving us a follow. You're very, very welcome. Nice pass out by Binder there. United just getting their foot on the ball here a little bit. The inversion of Delo is look at where Delo's playing here. Basically playing centre midfield. Luke Shaw into Rasmus. Loses it. Good tackle by Casemiro. Difficult pitch. Definitely a difficult pitch. Halifax 1990 was my memory, says Neil Trethway. I vaguely remember, and I mentioned this on the podcast this week, Goldbridge Saves Football. I vaguely remember, because I remember the first FA Cup final I watched was 87, Coventry against Spurs. I'd have been, I don't remember much about it. I'd have been about 20. No, I was about 5 or 6. And Coventry were the holders. They got knocked out by Sutton United. Lovely play. Anthony cuts it back. Goal! Lovely stuff. 1-0 Manchester United. That's good play. Anthony with the assist. Bruno with the goal. Lovely and simple. And United lead 1-0. Absolutely fantastic goal, this one. That's how you do it. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And Bruno Fernandes with a low finish. I know it's only Newport, and I'm going to have to say that after every goal. But what I want to see is smiles on the face and passing. And as you watch this back here, it starts with Luke Shaw. It's a lovely ball into the channel. And Bruno flicks it into Anthony, who cuts it back first time, who hits it first time. Lovely goal. Lovely goal. Jamesy says it's only Newport. Don't worry, I'm going to be using that throughout the show. But it's a lovely link up between Anthony and Bruno. And it works because Anthony's on the left. That natural cross. Ricky's going to be telling us that. I've told you, Mark. I've told you. Left footers on the left wing, right footers on the right wing. It's simple. I've been saying it to ages. Nobody will listen. Don't know why they won't do it, Mark. Lovely assist by Anthony. A first-time pass as well. Bruno, brilliant there. He played it was all one touch. Into Bruno, into Anthony, back to Bruno, bang, back of the net. And that's what we wanted to see as well. An early, quick goal. Nice, quick goal. Settle the nerves. Lovely stuff. Somebody just said it was offside. There's no VAR. There's no VAR. That's V for VAR. Be interesting to keep an eye on Bruno, though, and just watch what he's doing. Luke Shaw's just overrun that one there. Exor says, celebrating scoring against a League One side. Mate, I'll celebrate a bloody goal against the Dog and Duck at the moment. We've had a right shit season. You've got to start somewhere. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well, says Gary Mathers. And Mohammed says, we were knocked out by Middlesbrough 2 years ago. Forgot about that, Mohammed. Yeah, the handball. Anthony says, let's hope for a good win today. Too many passages in the squad. Massive clear out needed. United always make it hard. Always make it hard or always make you hard. I never understand that. How people get excited about that football in that way. Coventry get Maidstone if they beat Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, we can't complain. Wigan and Newport. But hi, Mark. Just tuning in. Any news on Rashford, says Marcus C. Yeah, Man United have said he's at Carrington today, training, recovering from illness. And Ten Hag was asked about it and said it's an internal matter. It's an internal matter, which doesn't actually bode well for Marcus Rashford, that no excuses come out. Good hold-up play by Hoyland. There's Anthony's down injured here. Oh, we don't want to see any injuries today. I mean, that is a risk. That is a risk today. Oh, I think it's Garnacho down injured, actually. They've both got bleached blonde hair. Varane goes back to Binder. What's his feet like? Good. Did well. MK Don smashed us in 2015 as well, says Riley. Wasn't that the Carabao Cup, though? Lovely pass by Bruno there. Oh, come on, Main. That's a bad pass by Mainu. Garnacho's up, which is good. Gets it back. Lovely play into Garnacho. Here we go. Bit of space. Where's he going to go? He's going to go back to Mainu. There's options in the box. I would like to have seen an earlier cross there. Bruno into Delo. Back cut. Anthony. Oh, Oh, just over the bar. Lovely play. Lovely play. Smiles on their faces. Smiles on their faces, ladies and gentlemen. Like me when the missus says, tonight's the night, Mark, you're getting apple pie. And that genuinely is apple pie. It's not a code word for something else. Yeah, it wasn't that close by Anthony, actually. How does he miss that, says Astor? I think he should do better. Put your foot through it. Put your foot through it. Yeah, I'm having trouble here with Garnacho and Anthony. They're both blondes, bleach blonde hair. It's like watching Bros from the 90s. Is it Matt or Luke? Mark, for me, Klopp is going because Chelsea got those signings. Says Dallas Knight. Okay. Funny how you made that about Chelsea. Is that Anthony's first assist for the season? Says Darren. I don't know. Somebody'd have to tell me about that. Danny Murphy's crying. Is he a commentator on the BBC? I mean, God. He's so shit. He even had a pop at me. He hates United, that's why. Apple pie face bridge, says Rudrish. If you're tuning in on YouTube, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we're very close to 814,000. We're only about 200 away. And remember, United got a game on Wolves as well on Thursday. Looking forward to that. So if we can get some momentum here. 1-0 up in the first 12 minutes. Delo should be looking to whip that cross in. Too many touches for me, but he's still got it. Cuts it back. Mainu! 2-0! Who am I to talk? I'm talking shite. Talk shite with Mark Goldbridge. That was a lovely finish by Mainu. Delo with the assist that time into the same bottom corner. There's Pete Boyle in the chat on the TV. He's quite famous anyway without the TV going on him. But it's 2-0 to Manchester United. And I tell you what, easy work here. Easy work for Manchester United. I think Delo takes too many touches, but he doesn't. He finds the ball and United lead. He does really well. Good feet by Delo. Lays it off. Lovely finish by Mainu. There's still a lot of work to do there. He's got to shoot across the goal into the bottom corner. And United are making very easy work of this. And there will be people saying, it's only Newport, it's only Newport, it's only Newport. But it is only Newport. But 13 minutes, 2-0 up, 2 well-crafted goals. Not deflections, not penalties. You can only do what's in front of you. And I will say this as a United fan, this is not normal for United to be moving the ball around like this. You know, playing the sensible pass. So many times we'd see Delo shoot from there. It's that extra care with the ball in the final third that's really impressing me. And, okay, it's probably going to be easier to do it against Newport than it is against Wolves on Thursday night. But it's that decision-making that has been lacking this season. I don't care if it's just Newport. In fact, with it being Newport, I would expect them to shoot more because the keeper's not going to be as good. So the fact that we're playing the pass against Newport is actually quite encouraging. I know it's United stand. Do you have an opinion on Xavi leaving Barca in the summer? Love the stream, says Chris. Well, it's a surprise, but I don't think he's done that well, really. Nick P says, we found our level. Much easier to watch. Can we play him every week? Yeah. Corner to Newport. Hold on. Hold your horse. I love that corner as well with the little dugout and the wall. It's lovely. We found our level. It has now become impossible to recognise which one is Anthony or Garnacho, says Adidas. Maybe it's part of the plan. Do you think Marcus will become a player? Your player, says Anna. I don't know what that means. Neil Trethway says, Bros were from the 90s, gold. I think they were actually from the 80s, weren't they? I know it's United stand on that one. Joskian says, do you think Klopp and Xavi departures have anything to do with the Super League? Both clubs were involved in its creation, loving the game. I'd not really thought of it like that, Joskian. I would hope not. I don't care if it's Newport or Real Madrid. It's so nice to see us playing simple football. This is what I mean, Lee. That's exactly what I mean. Cross comes in from Newport, straight to the goalkeeper. That was a pattern of play. If Anthony had a right foot, he could have done a similar finish a few minutes ago when he hit it over the bar, says Alex. And SK says, thank goodness we're killing it off. Happy for Mainu and Anthony. Hope the players enjoy the game. You might be right with 6-0. Fingers crossed, says SK. Mainu is going to be a superstar. He's so good all over the pitch, says Ant McG. Well, this is why so many fans wanted to see Mainu play with Casemiro, because Mainu's had to play a very disciplined, mature role in the absence of Mainu in recent weeks. But, you know, Casemiro just wants to sit there in front of the back four. That's what he does. And that gives Mainu more legs and license to move forward. And, you know, he's got a goal there. Marvin says Mainu as the 8 is the move. Love it. Oh, Delo with a little flick there. Back to the keeper. Two 2-0 up now. I mean, what do you do in this situation if you're Newport? I saw someone say that in the chat about 5 minutes ago, and it was 1-0 at that point. Well, what do you do if it's Newport and it's 2-0? I mean, United have just killed hope, really. That can be, you know, that's... Oh, hold on. Garnacho at pace. He's got Bruno either side. He nearly, well, a bit greedy there. And that needs to change. That needs to change. A bit greedy there. Best non-United striker you've seen live. Mine's Batistuta, says Red, since 1975. R9. Ronaldo. FC Thamesmead, thank you very much for your super chat. Thank you very much, FC Thamesmead. Can we play Binder from now on? Says Apple TV Ash. Jack says first time the team's without Rashford, but Bruno's in. And Jeff says Anthony's got Phil Jones pink boots on. So's Varane. Casemiro going back to Binder. Nice little pass into Martinez. It was tight, but here we go. Lovely ball to Martinez. He's just got across this Garnacho. They're waiting in the box. Why is he... you know, he's got to pass there. He's got to be passing there. We criticise Rashford, but... he shouldn't be shooting from there. It's just... See, this is what I mean. That's what impressed me about the first two goals, because Delo and Anthony look for the pass. Garnacho there is looking for the shot. And the cross to Bruno or Rasmus, and it's 3-0. I don't like that. I do like Garnacho, but I don't like that. I don't like that selfishness, because it's going to kill us in a bigger game. You've got to play the pass. Jordan says you got to square that. MCFC OK on TikTok says you'll be crying when it's 3-2 to Newport. There's more chance of 1-1-5 and you crying than me crying about Newport 3-2, mate. Let's be clear. Tina says he hit the crossbar. If it had gone in, mate, I'd say what a great finish, but I still think he should be passing from that, because 9 times out of 10 he's going to miss. So he needs to get... Our wingers need to get it as well. You might score one of those, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss from that angle. So put the cross in, you're probably going to... It's a great point, actually, Tina. If he scores that once or twice out of 10, everyone goes, what a great goal. But I'm telling you now, if he crosses it, we score 5 or 6 out of 10. And that's what I'm trying to say. You know, the cross is the right option if you want to play percentage football. Pep Guardiola would not put up with that. He'd go mad about it. This is a great training session for the first team to practice expansive football together with no pressure from the competition, says Joe. Alexander, thanks very much for your super chat, Joe. If this keeper plays well, can you see him playing against Wolves, says Darren? No. Jay says, I can honestly see a what happened to Marcus Rashford video soon. I just don't think he cares anymore. And FC Thamesmead says, Mark, wish FC Thamesmead good luck on Elizabeth Jake's Cup, Jackass Cup. I'll probably ruin the name of that. Paul says, can you people in the chat quieten down about it being Newport and let others support their club, for fuck's sake? Paul's not very happy. You've upset Paul now. That's the last thing you want to do. Newport with a big chance to whip a long throw in here. Launches it in, but it's well won by Casemiro. Yeah, nice to be wearing the butcher top when the butcher's back. Grincho says, don't get me wrong, Garnacho is an amazing talent, but he is extremely selfish. Like Rashford, Ten Hag needs to coach our wingers to cross the damn ball. He's only 19. It's pretty much his breakthrough first. Terrible ball by Luke Shaw. It's pretty much his breakthrough season in the first team. So it can be learnt. It can be learnt. Shadow on TikTok says, who scored for Man United? Bruno and Mainu. You know who Paul is? Ronnie Pickering's cousin, says Tom. I'm Ronnie Pickering. I don't know who you are, mate. Who are you? I'm Ronnie Pickering. Who's that? Ronnie Pickering. I'm Ronnie Pickering. I'm going to need to watch that. I haven't watched it in 2024. Don't forget my North American expansion email, says Lee. I've already forgot it, Lee. I'll have to go and send it me again. I vaguely remember it, but it's gone down the list. Send it me again. Martinez's passing ability is seriously underrated, says Tickles. He can be such an incredible playmaker with his long balls. We need to stop focusing on Rashford. I agree with that, what your wife said, and carry this type of play into our future games. More Binder, please, says Bounty Hunter. Bruno did give Garnacho an earful for not crossing, my captain, says Wesley. And that's what needs to happen. You know, move that on. Say it and move on. Martinez makes such a difference to this defence, says Ashley. Well, you all know it. It's not, you know, you don't need Gary Neville to tell you this. You know, you all know it. Martinez is the best ball-playing centre-back we've got, and he's the only left-sided centre-back we've got. It makes a massive difference to balance and ability to move out from the back. So United leading 2-0 here. Conan says Man City would be 5-0 up by now. Yeah, but Man City have got 115 charges against them as well, so no one respects you. Finally, game I'm fully relaxed and enjoy, but I know it's Newport, says Sander. Will Newport actually end up with a shot on goal? They do. And Binder holds on to it nicely. First real test for him. Hit at him with power. A very firm hold. I mean, it's a standard save, but look, we've seen many a goalkeeper. Very good hands. Blocked by Martinez. Hits it on his left foot. Good power. Good hands. Well done. At least you got to see a few finals when it meant everything to win it, says Kenneth. Thank you very much. And Anch says, from 8th grade to college, this fail, you've been my constant joy. Thanks, Mark, for keeping me entertained, especially during the pandemic. Anch, thank you very much, pal. If Mainu, lovely ball there but look how deep Bruno is there. I mean, again, you could still say that Bruno is a bit all over the place, you know, free roam. I will say this again, I don't agree with Bruno having a free roam. You've got to have positional discipline. I'm absolutely loving Casemiro. Hold on a minute. Here's Anthony on the wing. Rubbish pass. I'm absolutely loving Casemiro in the midfield. I know it's only Newport, but it's positive for once. Plus, I love seeing Martinez back. Rashford out, says Reese. And if Mainu had great second half of year, you think he has a shout for the Euros? Probably Eric. I mean, I don't want Mainu to go to the Euros. I'd rather he had a summer off, went on holiday, you know, got in the gym a bit, grew as a person. You know, the Euros is just more football, isn't it? But, you know, if he wants to go and England take him, I think he's worth it. United backbone is much stronger with Casemiro and Martinez back, says Akash. Thank you very much, Akash. Shadow says, I've got the script, 7-0 to Manchester United. Well, it's only 2 at the moment, 25 minutes. We were averaging 1 every sort of 8 minutes. But we haven't scored for a while yet. I mean, I don't want to treat Newport like that. You know, 4-0 would be a good win for Manchester United. It's not about how many you score. For me, it's about how many chances we create. And it's not a great ball by Anthony, that, for Rasmus. Give me one of them, Rasmus. He's trying to bully you. Give me one of them. There's no VAR. You'll get away with it. Like that. Shoulder barge, ref. I'm just shoulder barging. Sean says, now, I've had enough of Anthony now. Bring on Pellistri. Who's winning the Premier League? Liverpool or Man City? Says Lightning Strikes. Still no service for Rasmus, says Billy. 2 shots on target, 5 shots altogether for United, 70% possession. You can see the stats carousel there. Sponsored by OneFootball. Delo's won a free kick there. If you want to get the OneFootball app, by the way, you can download it for free through the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code next to me. Big shout out to OneFootball. All the latest breaking football news for free, and you get all your individual player stats as well. Have you seen a seagull in a tree, says Ben Chappell. And we need to pass to Rasmus, says Conan. I'd like to see him get some fucking service, yes. It took us half a season to finally play with a full squad. I consider Garnacho playing instead of Rashford a full squad, says Goodley. And should dig up Stephen Hawkins and swap him for Anthony, says Thomas. Speechless. I'm speechless. Rest in peace. Let Stephen rest. Jacob's from Newport, and he's on TikTok. See, people from Newport do know how to use phones. No, I'm sure it's a lovely place. I'll tell you what, I really like your ground. I really do like your ground. It's so atmospheric. It just reminds me of FA Cups past. Love it. Absolutely love it. I can see a burger van in the background. You can see people on scaffolding watching from a house. Right, Varane on the right wing here. Not a great cross, but he is a centre-back. It's with Garnacho on the back post. Cross. Anthony. He's got to score. Oh, he's got to score, mate. Conviction. He doesn't believe, does he? He doesn't believe there. You know, Garnacho puts in a lovely cross here. That's what you want from Garnacho. Yeah, he's got... I mean, it's a good block by the defender. But you've got to miss the block. He's got to score there. But I don't think he believes. I think Anthony's had 2 chances in this game and he should have scored them both. He scored neither. He scored neither. Neither goal has gone in for Anthony and he should be scoring it. I've run it through the computer. Yeah, here's Garnacho. Garnacho. Cross it, Garnacho. Garnacho. Back to Anthony. Oh, what's he doing? That's the 3rd time Anthony's had it in a great position and he's messed it up. I'm telling you now, I've run it through the computer and there's a 99% chance that he scores at least one of these chances and he's messed them all up. Oh, come on, Anthony, we need more. Yeah. We criticise when we lose to lower level teams, but we also criticise when they're winning, which is what we want them to do. Just enjoy it, says Roberto, which is exactly what we are doing. And Jamie says, my super chats keep getting missed. No, they don't. I have a massive list of them. I don't miss them, Jamie. Hi, Mark. Just want to say thank you for all you do. You're keeping me going through a tough time since my wife left me a week before Christmas. Jack, I'll be honest, you've left me nowhere to go there. I hope you're doing well. Wish people would stop saying it's only Newport, says it's JJR. No VAR is so nice, says Mason. Let's all just pretend it's Wolves, says PQ. Thank you very much for that. Jamie says, Anana would have let that shot in. Who's winning? We've done that one. Okay. And Jamie, I know it's only Newport, but it's so refreshing seeing people like Martinez back in defence. He was the main reason for the success last season. See, Jamie, they're all there. I go through them sporadically. Gems has given a shout out to Curtis's nan. And here's Delow into Anthony. Don't shoot. He did. Yeah, Anthony's not doing himself. I like Anthony, but he's not doing himself any favours. It's the Anthony show, isn't it? Let's not get too carried away with Binder. Looks decent. It feels like we're walking around DFS looking for a replacement sofa. Not my words, the words of Nick P. You've got to hold and give. Corner to United. Right, well, we never score from corners. Can we do it against League One opposition? Cross comes in from Luke Shaw. Bruno picks it up on the far-hand side. Anthony is going to take him on and shoot. He's got to stop shooting. Anthony as well. I've got to tweet it. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Stop shooting and feed the attacker. It's not helpful. Anyway, another corner for Manchester United here. Bruno's on it. Dan on TikTok thinks he's hilarious. He's saying this could be a big underdog story if Man United win. Right, come on, let's score a corner for once. Referee's moaning about pushing and shoving. Just get on with it, man. Get on with it. We're in Newport, aren't we? Ref's making it all about him. Look, he's not got VAR, so he's got to find a way to make it a bit about him. We're in London, aren't we? Bruno with the cross. Back post. Ooh. Penalty. No, not going to get one for that. Get up, Garnacho. There's no VAR. There's no point diving. If he's not going to give it straight away, he's not going to give it. Move on. Move along. Hello says our wingers are not feeding it up front. You're right. Mark, remember the Bruno chances stats? I think this game shows the real issues. Wingers just shooting, trying to enjoy it, but I feel glaring issues. SK, look, if you like your football with a little bit of intellect, I've been talking about this all season. Bruno Fernandes consistently tops the chance created stats. I've literally seen it today 3 times. He passes it to Anthony, who cuts inside and shoots from a stupid place. That's technically a chance created. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Bruno plays a 5-yard pass to him. He cuts inside and shoots from a stupid angle. That's not a chance created. Well, but it is, but it's not. And I think that's how it happens with Bruno, because it's not his fault. He gives it someone and they just shoot from stupid areas. Lovely play by Mainu there. Nice. That's it. Keep the ball. Oh, Casemiro. Come on, let's get the ball down and pass a bit. Delow's having a good game, says Liam. Bunch of greedy prats on the wing, says Jack. Mark, if City get stripped to their titles because of cheating, will we get 2 Premier Leagues? I don't want them, Bjorn. I don't want them. Martinez makes a huge difference. Rasmus still can't get a pass, says Dan. I don't think Rasmus has had a shot yet. Newport should consider getting Weghorst on loan. And I thought we were going to be one-on-one there, but the keeper's there. That was from Colin Felix. Thanks everyone who's tuning in on TikTok, by the way. Nice to be live with you. Give us a follow if you're watching. Hoyland's been quiet, says get in. He's on TikTok. He's had no service. He's had no service. George Harrison says Rasmus is so bad. I mean, he's had no service. Like 0 service for Rasmus again, 35 minutes in. There was a bit of a save for Binder here, but it was straightforward. Straight at him. Not going to call that a save. Although MUTV says he ain't playing again. Jack Glancy says, a commentator just said, if Anthony was on a bike, he'd be going around in circles. That spin last season has made him a walking meme. Oh my God. Well, knock me down with a fucking feather. It's 2-1. I can't speak. I don't even know what happened. What the fuck? I don't even know what happened here. Let him speak, Simon. Let him see the goal, Simon. I need to see the goal. What the fuck happened here? It says 2-1. I've got no idea. Long ball. Varane heads it. Oh my God. Is it good or is it bad? Oh, it's deflected. It's deflected off Martinez's head. Ah, you don't save those. You don't save those. What can you say? They haven't got the angles here, really. People saying Onana would have saved that. I don't think they know goalkeeping. 2-1. There's no chance with that. I mean, sometimes you just got to go, good goal, bit of luck, deflected. I don't think any keeper's saving that. It deflects, so you can't adjust your dive, and it goes in the bottom corner. It's just a bit of a, you know, a bit of a jammy goal. But you're not. But my big issue here is at 2-0, we've seen Anthony have the ball numerous times where he should have passed it. You get 3-0, you get 4-0, you're out of sight. By not getting that third and fourth goal because we're pissing about shooting, you allow those moments, and now the crowd are up for it. And suddenly, instead of being 3 or 4-0 up, you're 2-1 up. And you've got a bit of a battle on again now because they've got the momentum and they've got the crowd. And this is what happens when you waste the opportunities that we've had. Lovely ball by Casemiro into Anthony. Now, is he going to play the pass this time or is he going to shoot again? Plays the pass. Discipline in the final third is what we need. Danny Murphy's getting excited, says Kenneth. Doesn't take a lot. Miserable get. He's so bloody miserable. Strike was an old school, hard, clean, worldy strike, says SK. What a finish that was. Put Anthony out on the left and get some balls whipped in for Hoyland, says Stee. And Arna saves that on his PlayStation, says Nick P. I don't think he did. I don't think he would. I agree with SL. Anana would definitely not save that. Kane says, I feel bad for Anthony. He's booed every time he gets it. Mark, Ten Hag can pass on instructions to Garnacho to cross more, but he doesn't do it. What's that all about? Says Arman. I can't speak, says Jason. Alexander says, we're playing with an invisible number 9. Liam's gifted a membership. It's 2-1 at the moment to Manchester United. Just need to calm down here and get another goal. Nice ball. God, Luke Shaw should be attacking that. That was not a ball that Luke Shaw couldn't go towards. 5 minutes to go to half time. I'd be giving him a bollocking at half time. I'd be giving my wingers a right bollocking. I'd be saying, what the bloody hell are you doing? You know, we're playing a League One side. I can live with the goal because it's deflected in. These things happen, but I can't live with the, inability to play a simple pass in the final third because you want to get a moment of glory. Go for glory when we're 4 or 5-0 up. A lot of passes, little passes from us are just bad, says Ollie. How do you think Rashford not here affects anything, says Ben? I don't think Rashford makes a lot of difference at all, really. We've seen Rashford enough this season. Casemiro hitting a long ball into Anthony here. Lovely touch. Lays it off to Rasmus. Come on, momentum. 41 minutes. Anana would have watched that go in, but obviously some tactical changes with Anthony picking up central positions. Players need to be more precise, as Ben. Daz says, I love the channel, great content. How is Rasmus supposed to get scoring in this team when our wingers are so greedy? Feel bad for him. No striker could perform well with those wingers. Thanks, Daz. Welcome to the Members Club, Abdul Rahman. Strike was an old school hit. I think we've read that one before. Nice ball into Anthony. The thing that annoys me is that the goals that we scored were really simple, clean goals. Just simple passing, and we've lost the ability to do it. Nice ball into Bruno. Luke Shaw. Going to use Garnacho, surely. Mark, when you see Everett and Keno speaking, you see exactly what's wrong with the new generation of footballers. They don't respect the jersey, says Gummy. Shane says, would you take off Anthony and bring on Ahmad? Well, the thing about Anthony is that with what's going on with Rashford, it's a great opportunity to get in the team. But I just think I think our wingers are just very selfish. They just want it to be about them, and your job is not to do that. Your job is to score to score goals if the opportunity presents itself. But your first job is to create. It really is that simple. Create chances for your wing. I mean, we've had 44 minutes against a League One side, a League Two side, and our striker's not had a chance. That's incredibly disappointing. There's no, and you know what? There's no point in resorting to physicality in a game like this. None. Newport can compete with us for physicality. They can't compete with us for ability. And we should be comfortably moving the ball around. We're Insanity FC, making the same idiotic mistake over and over again, expecting a different result. Selfish Pratt, says Delicate Official. Is Anthony booed for the allegations or the performance, says Kane? I don't know. Here we go. Bruno with the cross, too much on it. Ray Saunders, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Get your badge in. Thank you very much for that. I'm quite disappointed with how United is playing. The selfishness needs to be taken out of the team, says Eddie. Ineos has got some work to do. Two minutes added on here, so it could be 2-1 at half time. Martinez with a lovely little ping out to Garnacho. Give it to Shaw and go. Give it to Shaw and go. Luke Shaw, good cut back. Get McTominay on, he'll score a couple of goals. The thing about McTominay is, he'll come on and he'll just land to him in the box straight away and he'll score 2 goals. He has got that, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Garnacho cuts it back. Wrong cross. We're all a shambles, says Mad. Chaos Monk says, who do you think should take over from Klopp? I don't know. This could be the last attack of the half if we make it. Anthony into Delo. You've got about 5 seconds, mate. Bit of urgency. Delo, come on. Bruno, good save. It's simple when you do it like that. Half time, Manchester United 2-1 with Newport. What are your thoughts on that? Get involved in the chat. Let me know. My thoughts are, look, fair play to Newport. I don't think there's a hell of a lot you can do with the goal that they've scored. Anybody can score a goal, and it deflects. I don't think the keeper can do anything about it. Yeah, you're going to get mocked for conceding a goal against a team that's not as good as you are. But the bigger disappointment for me is not the fact that we've conceded a goal. I think, conceding a goal is always a possibility in any game of football. The biggest disappointment for me is just when we move to, if you're on YouTube, you can see this, the United Stand on YouTube stats carousel. Let me pause that. It's not really enough in the shots counter for me. Manchester United have had 9 shots, 4 on target. Newport have had 5 shots, 3 on target. We've had 75% possession. Our pass completion rate is 85% to 55%. It's very, very bad, as some people are saying in the chat, to have all that possession and only have 4 shots on target to their 3. Why is that happening? Because we're wasting possession again. This has been happening all of last season and all of this season. Last season we got away with it because we had a very strong defence, but we never put teams away last year. People forget that this was happening last year. Shots are us. That's what Man United are, and we're open every fucking game we play. It's just people just shoot from everywhere. And there was about a 10-minute period halfway through that half when we were 2-0 up, where Anthony had about 3 shots, and every single time he should have passed it or crossed it. And it's problematic because that is why Rasmus, as a striker for Man United, has not had 1 shot on goal. If Erling Haaland was playing for Man City against this Newport team, he'd have had a few. He'd have scored. He'd have had a few. But to score, you've got to have a chance. It's criminal how Manchester United create no chances for their striker, yet we're in positions to do it. If you're playing up front for Newport against Man City, doesn't matter whether you're Lewandowski, you're not going to get a chance because you're not going to get anywhere near it. The issue with United is we have plenty of the ball in the final third, but we don't create chances for our striker because we're so selfish. Everyone wants to shoot. No one wants to feed the ball early. And it's not just about cutting inside and shooting. As a striker, you need the early ball. You need the early ball. We never look to play the early cross. We never look to play the early ball. We never look to see the run. It's too slow. For a striker, it's really difficult to be successful in a United team, and it's been really difficult for a long time. But it's embarrassing when you're playing a team like Newport, and I, honestly, if I was Ten Hag, I would be giving them a bollocking at half-time. I'd be saying to Garnacho and Anthony especially, you've got 5 minutes to do better, or I'm taking you off. I've got 2 wingers on the bench. I've got Ahmad and Palestri, and if you don't start fucking passing and creating, I'm taking you off, and these 2 lads are going to come on and do it. Because both of our goals have come from creativity. They're well-worked goals. And then we get 2-0 up and people start thinking we're at the fucking fairground shooting from all over the place. We're not. Let's get the game done. There's 0 service, as Amo said. Exactly. Anthony has had 3 times the amount of touches as Rasmus. Why will Erik Ten Hag never play a playmaking winger? Even Garnacho on the right side will whip crosses in, says Eddie. Hi, Mark. In terms of chance creation from the wings, could it be as simple as swapping Garnacho and Anthony around, says Tyrone. Seriously, our wingers are so wasteful and selfish, says John Jonathan. And do we have a striker on the pitch, says the Pirates. We are so wasteful in the final third, says Sly. Wonder if they finish their dinners. And Sean Dunn says, how has the manager still not addressed Anthony and Garnacho learning to cross, let alone passing? Makes us so less clinical. Squad is allergic to Rasmus, says Goodley. Concede another in the first few of minutes, says Jack. I absolutely love Man United, says Maisie, and I'm a regular watcher of this channel. I'm in an absolute agreement of 90% of your opinions in regards to our club. Okay. I'm ready for the fire sale, Mark, says Son of United. And Sai says, why is it when the winger cross, they cut it back rather than playing to the striker? Is Højlund invisible or what? And if we don't win by 4 or 5 goals and dominate possessions, it will be embarrassing. This is our best side. Go Ravens, Mahomes and Pratt. Great show, says Ben. And we really miss Casemiro's defensive prowess, says Darian. Ben Sutton, welcome to the members club. And looking bare, peak bruv, should use that Ahmad Ute, says Ali. Look, somebody said, do you think we've missed Rashford in this game? And I feel like saying, I don't want to talk about Marcus Rashford because he didn't even train, so he shouldn't play. Rashford will be dealt with next week by the club. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I don't miss Rashford in this game because I think we'd see exactly the same. Rashford would be on the left wing. He wouldn't be putting crosses into Rasmus. He'd be cutting in and shooting. And so I don't think you see anything different with Rashford. Maybe he scores. Not that he's been scoring much this season. Rashford wouldn't make any difference in this game. He'd be cutting in and shooting as well. And until we stop doing that, we're never going to see what Rasmus could do because he gets zero service. I mean, Garnacho, they've just shown one from Garnacho there. And Rasmus is fuming and Bruno is fuming. And look at this. Look at where he shoots from. That cross should go now. 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 It's a tap-in. It's a fucking tap-in and he shoots. And that's what I mean. If Garnacho scores this goal, we say, what a finish. What a finish. But what's he doing shooting from there? Why are you even shooting from there? The angle's ridiculous. If he scores that goal, it's a great finish. But, you know, if you try that 10 times, you'll score it once, maybe twice. If you cross it, you'll score 5 or 6. As a manager, you've got to pull that up. You've got to pull that up and go, look, never do that again. Because I want to score. And the better pass is the cross. Maslam, there's your name on TikTok. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're on there, make sure you give us a follow. What do you want to see in the second half? Brian says, I love your videos. I'm from South Africa, says user 33683. What do I want to see in the second half? I want to see us get back to what we did with the first 2 goals. Take care of the ball. Play the pass. You know, we're 2-0 up because we took care of the ball. We got 2-0 up and we started to think it was party time. We lost that discipline. Look after the ball. Play the pass. You know, that's what you got to do. Khalid, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Ryan Walters, thanks very much for your super chat. What's your first impressions of Bienda? Positive for me, says Ryan. Jay's been a member for 20 months. He says, we have one of the highest paid squads in football, but we can't pass the ball. Ryan Walters, thank you very much. Would you accept 100 million for PSG bid for Rashford? Says Goodley. As I said last night, I think it's an irrelevant conversation to have in January, but I can see the positives for everybody. I think it is getting a bit of a beyond a joke. But with regards to Bienda, I can't blame him for the goal. I think it's unsavable when it flicks up and goes in a bottom corner like that. But other than that, I don't think he's really been tested. I think his distribution's been okay. And he's had a couple of things at him where he's had to handle it well, but we've not really seen him have to make a save yet. So it's always going to be a very difficult game for him, I think. But look, second half's about to kick off. Let's go and get a few more goals and try and take some rhythm. The problem we'll have is that I think this is United's best team to play against Wolves. Obviously, he'll probably play Onana. But the problem we're going to have here is when we play against Wolves, if people start fucking shooting from stupid angles again, we're going to struggle. We've got to be more careful with the ball. JC says, are you going to start Bienda on Thursday off this 45? Well, I would, because I think Onana should be dropped. Because I thought he was shit against Spurs. But I don't for 1 minute think that Ten Hag is not going to bring Onana back in. Do you believe at the end of the road for Rashford at the club? Looks like he's blatantly disrespected the club and the manager, says Krish. I have a feeling United will just keep trying to make the Rashford thing work. I think they're a bit obsessed with him being at the club since he was a kid. He's a massive brand, Manc born and bred. I think the club are a little bit obsessed with that. The Glazers certainly were. It's about Sir Jim Radcliffe. If Sir Jim Radcliffe comes in, he's running the football side, and he might make a decision. But if he doesn't, then he's just the same as everybody else, isn't he? You know. Newport play wider now in the second half. Eriksen should come on and tear them to shreds down the middle, says Novak. And I still can forget the feeling I would have had if we'd won the title when City won it. Never really had that feeling with United, and I feel robbed, says Bjorn. Wingers couldn't pass wind, says Cryptic. And Onana would have tried to flap the head over anyway, says David. And do you believe it at the end? Okay, I've done that one as well. Let's have a quick look at TikTok. Thank everyone who's tuning in. Just me says Højlund is so bad, mate. You don't understand football, pal. Watch more, maybe this channel, and you'll learn more. How can a striker be bad when they have no service? Yeah. It's an impossibility to be a bad player when you get no service. A striker is judged on shooting. He's had no service. It's not like the service has come in and he's not had any, he's in the wrong place. He's had no service. Onana or Bienda, says Jensen. I'll do a little bit of a poll on that on YouTube. Eric will go with Onana because that's his big signing and Bienda's his number 2. But be interested to see what you think about that. Keifel says, did Erik Ten Hag make a comment on Rashford? Wasted talent. It's sad. He did. He said it's an internal matter. And Lindsay says, gone are the days United wingers put a ball in for the striker, ill-disciplined Platts. And just watch replays of all our wasted chances. Højlund's getting so frustrated, throwing his hands up. Can't blame him, says Cole. Definitely. Definitely. Luke says, I'm waiting for our predictable substitutions of McTominay and Eriksen for Mainu and Casemiro, says Luke. Well, I've got no problem with that after an hour. I'd like to see Maguire come on for half an hour for Varane. I'd like to see, Eriksen get on as well. I'd like to see a bit of Ahmad and Pellistri. I'm all for those substitutions, but I'd like to see this team deliver before that. Netflix and Chilwell says, I feel for Højlund. I really hope he brings on Diala, as he always looks to play a ball into the box. So does Pellistri as well. And JC says, I think Ahmad should be given his proper chance this game. Looks bright in cameos, and who remembers his Europa League header? Looks a playmaker too. Thank you very much, JC. 2-1 against Newport and laughing emojis from SE. And if it weren't for Anthony's wasted chances and a lack of service towards Razzie, we should be 5-1 up, says Merlos. And I think that's the thing that's a little bit disappointing, actually. I don't think United have actually played that badly. I just think it's just wasted in the final third. I've played the game, I've watched the game, and looking at United so far, I think we could be 4-5-0 up. Well, 5-1, their goal's legit, I can't take that away. But we could be 4 or 5-1 up. But we're not, because just pissing around in the final third, which we've been. I don't get it. I don't get how it's allowed to happen. That's also the problem with Ten Hag. Onana, Anthony plays because they're his signings. I hope Ahmad will play more like his last match, says Sheriff. And I feel for Haaland. I've done that one from Netflix and Chilwell. Anthony's terrible. Garnacho's selfish, but making things happen. Still, this team should have been buried. Baldy, Ten Hag's a bit of a miss, says Aldo. Anthony, Bruno, and Garnacho are incapable of the early ball, says Shane. It feels finally see this defence in midfield, says Bjorn. You know what? If I could ask Rasmus a question, I would ask him, like, as a striker yourself, what do you want when the ball is on the wing or with the number 10? Are you looking for that quick ball, or are you the sort of striker that doesn't mind waiting for it? Because I guarantee you he'd say, I want the quick ball. I want the quick ball in behind, or I want the quick ball in the channel, or I want the quick cross to attack to. And he never bloody gets it. Never gets it. Bournemouth put 5 past Swansea and we can't even play a few passes in a row against Newport. It's very frustrating, says Ojas. And I don't get why people are saying Bianda is better than Onana. He's only played 45 minutes, says Chun. I agree he should start from now on. Then we can see if it's true or not. Feels to finally see this defence in midfield, says Bjorn. And let's give Eric Ten Hag the chance, like Arteta, to get rid of the bad ones. I'm sure some of his fans were not happy when he did, but look at them now, says Gene. Look, what I will say about Ten Hag is I don't want to see another manager get sacked. However, I do feel that he will be judged on how he proceeds with his team selections over the next few games. And if he continues to pick players who aren't good enough, they will sack him. It's as simple as that. I could ask Rasmus a question, says Swal. I would ask him why Anthony and Garnacho never pass him the ball in the box. Do they hate him? And Kovar is doing a great job in Germany, and we sold him for cheap and got Onana. If Alonso goes to Liverpool, Kovar will probably go with him and be Alisson's understudy and maybe about as good, says Jack Glancy. It's worrying, isn't it, when you say stuff like that? It really, really is. Yeah. Anyway, players are coming out for the second half here. I didn't even see the goal live. I was looking at the chat and then I just looked at the screen and there was just some Welsh prat in a barber jacket going, yeah, show me his fillings. It was stunning how quickly the goal happened. Please say hi, Imogen, says Imogen. Alan Shearer followed the host. Atoll Shearer, not Alan Shearer, you Poundland Shearer. Okay, we're about to kick off the second half here. Let's see if Rasmus... It's a bit like a game, isn't it? Will, pin the tail on the donkey. Will Rasmus get a shot on goal? It's, I feel for the lad. Feel for him. There he is, ready to kick it off. Galf says, I think we've got a buyback clause on Kovar. I don't know. Anyway, second half kicks off. My score predictions out of the window. I did say United would win 6-0. Oh God, unlucky. If you're on the BBC, you should be listening to this. Danny Murphy on a Man United game. I thought people were joking. He's the most bitter, miserable United hater out there. You can't have him on a United game. They do it on purpose. Garnacho with the cross. Very nearly got Rasmus on it. What's Anthony doing? What is he doing there? I don't know. At least he put a cross into the box. It was interesting what Mika Richards had to say about Marcus Rashford at half-time. I'll come back to that in a moment. Delo's on the attack here. The cross should have come in a lot quicker. Garnacho's going to get a bit of time on the back post. Where's he going to go with it? Lays it back. Luke Shaw through the crowd and deflected. Mika Richards says, Rashford needs to understand he's a public figure and wherever he goes, there's going to be attention on him. Whether he's given a day off or whatever, but then before a game, he is causing more problems. They wanted to come to the game today and focus on it, and now we're having to ask him, the manager, what's happening off the pitch. It's not good enough from the whole squad since Ten Hag has come to the club. 2-2. Oh my Christ. Oh my Christ. What the fuck's going on? I just don't get this. This is not meant to happen. This is not meant to happen. This is absolutely fucking credible. I mean, we're basically losing to we're drawing with a pub team here. With all due respect to Newport, I don't fucking know who you are. 2-2. Who was it who said we'd concede in the first 5 minutes of the second half? How many times does this happen as well? 2-2, Newport. I mean, it's just unfucking believable. Everybody's caught ahead of the ball again. Midfield runner. Oh my God. What, like, Delow's too narrow. Anthony's not coming back. Delow gets beat on the... It's I don't know what Delow's putting his hands in the air for here, because I don't really understand what Delow's doing. It's crap. It's absolute crap. You've got to cut the cross out. You've got to cut the cross out. Oh, mate, I just want to fucking throw up with this team. I bet Rashford's smiling at home. Oh, I don't fucking believe it, man. I don't believe it. This is not meant to be this. Oh, fucking hell, man. I can't believe my eyes. 2-2. No discipline. Exactly what Ten Hag is trying to get into their heads. Terrible, says SK. Jack, you were the person who said we would concede in the first. Garnacho, don't shoot. Put the cross in. What the hell was Varane doing there? This is humiliating, says Jack. No discipline. Exactly what Erik Ten Hag is trying to get into their heads. Jack says we do have a buyback clause with Kovar, but it's up to him. Lyle Matthews, thank you very much. Dylan's gifted a membership. Ian says, I wanted Rashford to be a success, but there has been too much disrespect. This is the first time we've had a midfielder which is very close to perfect. If only Casemiro was a few years younger, says George. And Ian Carlton was talking about Rashford there. I'm a little bit in shock here. I almost want to just see if I can go back to the goal. I just need to see it, how it happened. Okay. Cross comes in. Varane's in a one-on-one. Out wide. I don't actually agree with blaming Varane on that. I've just watched it back. I don't actually agree that that's Varane's fault. He didn't give the ball away, and the cross really should be cut out by Delow, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on that. I mean, I know Varane's marking the striker, but I think Delow's got to get in front of the cross. I don't blame Varane on that. Different players, same result, one common denominator, says Parker. Ian's just gifted 5 memberships. It's Delow Mark, says Thomas. Vaughan says we need the special one. How can we be successful, says Dylan, with these wasteful Deadwood players who don't care about the club or the fans? Aldo says, Delow's an embarrassment. I can't believe he didn't try and get out or even stop the cross. Get him off now, says Aldo. Well, look, I think Delow had a good first half, but I don't know why people are blaming Varane. Delow has to cut the cross out, you know. It's as simple as that. I said it'll be a tough game, says Reese. Anthony needs to be hooked. His shots are friendly fire, says Michael. Friendly fire can be deadly. Mark, if they can't win, they need to all go, says Lee. Jim says, remember Newport took Spurs to a replay in 2018? This is the first team as well, says Tag. Yeah, well, it's not going to do the confidence any good at all, is it? If we don't sort this out in the next few minutes. What changes would you make? What changes would I make? I might be tempted to bring Eriksen on for Mainu. I'd certainly look to change Anthony for one of the wingers. Yeah. I wouldn't be making wholesale changes, really. I just think I'm in shock, says Eben. Make sure you give us a subscribe if you're on YouTube, by the way. We're very close to 314,000. What the fuck's that cross from Luke Shaw there? got to get the ball down. Stop hitting, stop playing the game that Newport want to play. Stop making it about physicality and get the ball down. If we manage to bottle this, I can't see how Ten Hag survives. Mate, if we lose this game, which, to be honest with you, seems absolutely unbelievable, but we were 2-0 up and it's 2-2. So I have to consider the fact that we could fuck this up. And if we did, I think Ten Hag's gone. You can't be out the FA Cup to Newport. This team is embarrassing, not United. I don't recognise this club anymore. It's heartbreaking to see, says it's Dave in it. Good play by Anthony. Keeps it in. Rasmus lays it off. Bruno. Oh, straight at the fucking keeper. He should be scoring from there. It's Dave. Thank you very much for your super chat. Michael Rizzo, welcome to Members Club. We had time to prepare this game and we're not playing our best players. Got no identity, says Devon. We should have scored here as well. Rasmus does well. Gives it into Bruno. I mean, what? That shot's going over from Bruno as well. I mean, it's rubbish. It's a rubbish shot for a professional footballer, isn't it? Ian says Anthony didn't even track back for the cross. Fullbacks overcommitted going forward and Delo took too long to track back. Love your content, Mark. As always, says Retro. Josh is on TikTok. He says, I'm sick and tired of Man United. Bloody hell. There's Sir David Railsford. Mark, I don't understand that Erik Ten Hag is trying his best, but I don't think he knows how to manage our club. Please speak on his inability to get us firing, says Sleeping. Satellite. I like that song. Desiree. Was it Desiree? Can we get an answer on that? Who sang the song Sleeping Satellite? Blame that sleeping satellite. No, 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 no. Don't know the lyrics. Romance, and still we try. No, 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 no. Sweet and temptation, whoa. I blame you for the moonlit sky. It was Tasman Archer. It was Tasman Archer. Well done. Even people on TikTok have got it. Well done. And they say you're just young people who don't know what you're talking about. Well done. More people got it on YouTube, to be fair, but there was a couple on TikTok as well. Right. Newport are on the attack here. I mean, please help me, somebody. I don't deserve to watch this. I don't deserve to be watching this shit show. Thank you very much. Perfectly timed cup of tea. This is all because of wingers' selfish play, says Stephen. Long throw into the box. I agree. I totally agree with that comment. We're 2-0 up. We're cruising. And both of our wingers, one more than others, decided to start, there's going to be a goal bonanza. I'm going to start shooting. You know, if Garnacho puts that cross in, that's another goal. If Anthony puts another couple of passes in, that's probably another goal. Silly. Karaoke Bridge says, it's Dave in it. Laser beam is lit. Thank you very much for your super chat. So David has just got back from printing off Erik Ten Hag's P45. Corey Lineker says, just wait till we're healthy, then we'll see Erik Ten Hag. And Goldbridge would start for Newport, says Bronzy. And Robble says, if the best 11 of Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ollie and Ten Hag at United were to play against each other, who would be the winner? Let us know if we're actually improved over time, says Robble. Tomo says, what makes it worse is we're full strength. And Stephen Lamb, thanks very much for your super chat. SG says, what's the score, Mark? Well, I think you know the fucking score, SG. I think you're just trying to be smart. Ow! And now bang my shin on the bloody desk. So we're about to hit an hour in here, and I think he's going to have to start making some substitutions, isn't he? Might be time for Scooby-Doo. It's strange you don't mention AB not owning the 6-yard once. Anana would have been annihilated for that. Stay consistent. Damien, what are we talking about? Are you talking about a cross into the box along the ground? You don't own your 6-yard box by coming for a cross along the ground like that. We're talking about crosses for corners, Damien. If your name is Damien, or are you actually called Andre? Why are we playing long ball against Newport, says Paul? Because we're shitting ourselves, mate. You can see they are starting to shit themselves. You can see it. Vincent says, overpaid pop stars. I like it. Anyway, I'm not the guy saying Biinda should start over Anana. He won't start over Anana, so I'm not even going to get in that debate. So I don't know why I'm not even comparing Anana to Biinda, because he's not going to get his place anyway. Here's another cross. The problem is all our players keep playing the ball forward when nobody's settled. So if we lose the ball, there is nobody back to help defend, says Les. This can't be happening. We don't deserve this. I had such a nice lunch, ruined by these prices, says Nick. I had a lovely lunch as well. I had chicken, roast potatoes, stuffing, bread sauce, lovely veg, lovely pudding. It was a raspberry cobbler with some custard. I was in a right good mood. And guess what I was saying at 2-0? What a lovely ground it is. This has got a real feel of a cup tie. Well, I take that back. I don't want a real cup tie against Newport. I want to be winning 6-0 and saying, oh, fair play for them for taking part. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy a close game against Newport. In fact, I hate it. I hate their little ground, and I hate this game. We will probably win this, but if we don't, it's truly unforgivable, and Eric Ten Hag's position should be looked at in the summer. I'm an Eric Ten Hag supporter, says Art. Mark, this is pitiful. If we lose this, we have to say goodbye to Ten Hag, says Mario. Yeah, but you know, if we did lose this and we have to say goodbye to Ten Hag, is that because of player power? Because one of their mates is not playing because he went to Belfast on Thursday night? I mean, are the players actually giving everything, or are they sort of like, we're Team Rashford? I mean, you just don't know with them, do you? You just don't know, and that's the thing for me, because you can't blame a chance for Martinez there. You can't blame Ten Hag when a player goes out in a different country and he should be training. What's your favourite vintage kit that you own, says Miguel. I'll get it for you in a minute if you want me to show it you. Newport all over us. Ten Hag needs to go. Literally has nothing about him, so neither do the players, says Connor. Newport are showing us the importance of character in combination with fundamentals of football basics, says Good Lee. Thank you very much for your super chat there. And imagine what Sir Alex Ferguson would have done to this lot in the dressing room if he was in charge. Well, Esto, I have to give people a reality bite, because I think they go, imagine if Sir Alex was in charge. Imagine what would happen if Sir Alex was in charge. I spoke about this in the week. Manchester United drew against Burton Albion in the FA Cup, who I believe were playing Manchester United when they were in the same league, and it was a draw at their place. It was January the 8th. It was Burton Albion. It was 0-0 in the third round of the FA Cup at 4 o'clock on a Sunday. Manchester United started with Tim Howard, Bardsley, PK, Brown, Silvestre, Richardson, Rooney was playing, Ronaldo was playing, Sahar was playing. So, you know, football is weird. If it's not working, let him go, says Frank. Who do you think will make the Super Bowl tonight? And will you watch the Super Bowl? Stephen Hazard, I do a Super Bowl watch-along on That's Football. I'm hoping the Chiefs don't do it. Bruno, come on, this has got to be a goal. Rasmus, Out into Anthony. Give it him back. Now. Oh, take him off. Take him off. Take him off. Mark, if Erik Ten Hag out, what's your ideal manager? Well, Klopp's not going to get it, is he? Man United 888. Even if we're not win, not being able to show a style of play against this side means there's no style of play at all. That alone is grounds for sacking, says T. If Erik Ten Hag out, what's your ideal manager? As if United threw a 2-0 lead against Newport, says Joe. Here's Garnacho. The crops, see, there's the cross, and it's just, there's no care on it. It's too much power on it. Can't get on the end on that. Ivor says, get the ball to Garnacho and let him do his thing. Jack Glancy says, Newport manager post-match. Fair play to United for having to go, but unfortunately they couldn't handle the pressure. Oh, God. Their keeper's gone down injured now. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Incredible scenes here. Manchester United 2-0 up against Newport County. Decided to get greedy. Didn't look after the ball. 2-2. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just what I've got a break in the play here. We are currently 10 subscribers from 814,000 on YouTube. Please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Get involved with the United Stand. We'll be doing player ratings very soon. You can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average on the website. My match reactions after this, and then we've got the fan forum in the studio after that. So lots to get involved in here. God knows what we're going to be talking about. I mean, surely we'll still be talking about a Manchester United win, but Kev on TikTok says, why has he not made any subs? Well, is it because he wants this team to work? And, you know, is it because he's scared about bringing an Eriksen on or a McTominay on or a Maguire on and that, you know, fitness not being good enough? This is good play. Bruno. Should have passed that sooner. I think the substitution I would have made would have been Ahmad, Anthony, or Ahmad for Anthony or Pellistri for Anthony. One of those two, really. Be careful. Shot from distance there. Get the ball. Come on. We've got to keep the tempo going. Can't see any United players warming up anyway if you wanted them to come on. The confidence we got in the first half and missed opportunities has cost us. Man United always has an issue with mentality, says Abdi. Who do you think the main problem is right now, says King. Joel says, as a Welshman, I'm loving this, up the county. Get those wingers swapped over and they can put a cross in for Højlund, says Ashley. Honestly feel like this one game sums up United for the last 5 years. 2 goals up, took foot off the gas. Now we can't get back up for it. Overpaid losers, says Mank in Chicago. Hope you're doing well, mate. Ariel, welcome to the Members Club. Højlund kicking the post after the cross shows it really, says Ollie. Here we go, Anthony. Have a shot, Luke. I'd have hit that. Is it the post? And Anthony's... offside. No, he's not. He's onside. 3-2. Well, I tell you what, that'll do. Shove that, Newport. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? 3-2, Manchester United. And look, fair play. It comes from I think Luke Shaw was right to shoot there. Hits the post and goes to Anthony, who's kissing the badge. That's all well and good. I don't question his passion. But, yeah, it's... he's happy. He's got a goal and an assist. But let's watch this back. Luke Shaw does very well on his right foot. It's a good shot. Hits the post. Anthony follows it in. I think he does it with his right foot. Yeah. Right foot. Come on. Let's get a few more now. What do the stats say? I mean, they've had the same amount of shots on target that we've had. 5 for 5. Championship level players with a pub team mentality. Our level is facing Chesterfield and Eastleigh in the Vanarama, says Jack. How's Binder been doing, says Matthew. Well, they've got a corner here, Newport. It's not over yet. David Miller, thanks for joining the members club. Get your badge in the chat. You're an absolute legend. I blame, if you're a Newport fan, blame Joel Morris. He says, I'm a Welshman and I'm loving this. That was a super chat about 20 seconds before Luke Shaw's shot hit the post. Get it out. Man United have got Wolves on Thursday night, so... Christopher says, I can't celebrate, it's pathetic. Is it possible that Man United thinks they're playing against Wolves, says Harvard? Matthew says, how's Binder been doing? I think he's done all right. I have to go back to a question before. Somebody asked a really good question before, and I hadn't forgot it. I was just waiting for a gap to talk about it because I wanted to bring it into you lot as well. Why is it not working for United today? We can moan, and we all bloody moan. We all know that. But why is it not working for United today? It's not working. It's not working because Rashford's not playing. It's not working because Martial's not here. Like, they wouldn't make any difference. We've seen them play in teams like this and not do well. So why is it not working? In my opinion, I think we've got a mentality issue that's been at the club for a decade. And I think we've also got a lack of discipline in looking after the ball. When we look after the ball, we look okay. But there's just these moments of selfishness that kill attacks. You know, we can play 6, 7 passes like Bruno there. You know, Rasmus has just played Garnacho in there really, really well. Ooh, Casemiro's going to get booked for that. Yellow card. I tell you, in the Premier League, he might have been in trouble here, Casemiro. Bit of a scissor tackle. No VAR. I think, you know, we can play 7, 8 passes from the back to the front, and it's good. And then somebody shoots, and it's shit. And I think for me, it started against Brighton away last season, where in the first 10 minutes we were playing Brighton away. We lost the game, but in the first 10 minutes we kept breaking. We kept having good opportunities in the final third. And Rashford, Anthony, Bruno, and I think Martial played that game, I think. We're just shooting all the time. And you're like, there's a better pass. There's a better pass. Keep the possession. And it's still a massive problem for Manchester United. Still a massive problem. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube, by the way. We're very close to 814,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand. We're live every day. Here's Garnacho. Please slip Rasmus in. For fuck's sake, mate. Lays it back. Bruno, good block. See, that. Rasmus is so bloody unselfish. It's a contradiction. Rasmus, I watch a lot of Rasmus this season. He always plays the pass. He always plays the pass. And he never fucking gets it. Never gets the pass back. Real Talking Pod, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Teams play down to the competition and Newport is doing that, says Brian. Go Man United, keep scoring. Support from Celia and James, says Chi-Chi. Thank you very much. If you're on TikTok, by the way, please do give us a follow. I think there is a way to subscribe on TikTok, but I'm not too sure about it. So give us a follow. Thanks everybody who's tuning in. Time for a bit of a stretch. Well, will you start making subs now? I think he wants to get minutes in the legs of these players for Thursday. Normally I'd say where's the subs, but to be honest with you, I'm not that bothered today because when you think about it, if the first 11 isn't playing well, there's a chance that the people you bring from the bench are even worse. So I don't think... The only subs I would have liked to have seen was Palistri or Ahmad. And he's clearly not going to do that. Right, here's Bruno. Good acceleration. Into Anthony. Needs to come back to Garnacho there. Again, another shot by Garnacho when he should be passing it. Mainu. Garnacho. Again. I'm getting pissed off with it. I really am getting pissed off with it. And look, I've got to be consistent with this. Rashford gets loads of shit for it, but I'm getting really pissed off with our wingers. They're so fucking selfish. We're never gonna be anything with wingers who don't pass. It's as simple as that. We're never going to achieve anything with wingers that want to shoot all the time. We'll never achieve anything. Said says Rasmus should spit on Garnacho, might pass then. Never seen a better advertisement for open heart surgery, says Graham. And our fullbacks are better and more creative on the ball than our wingers, and they pass the ball. Our wingers are absolutely awful. We need a left midfielder and a right winger, says Touchables. Thank you very much for that. Play the ball, play the ball, play the ball. Yeah. Bruno, here we go. Garnacho. He's got Luke Shaw on the overlap. In he goes. Front post. Oh, it's behind. See, that's the... There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to say. This is absolutely exhausting, says Lee Berman. I'm sick of Garnacho and Anthony. We need new wingers, says Matt Phillips. T says, does everyone agree that we've got no style of play? I think it's, you know what, I'm gonna say this in the match reaction. It's just discipline. It's discipline. Like even Bruno is all over the place. I remember Paul Scholes saying this a few months ago. If I'm playing in the midfield, I don't want to look up. I want to know where somebody is. Here's Garnacho, another shot. Bored of it, mate. Bored of it. It's Manchester United. It's not five-a-side with your mates. It's Manchester United. Pass. I'm fed up of the selfishness. I'm so fed up of it. I watched Liverpool, I watched Arsenal, I watched Man City, I watched Brighton, I watched Newcastle. They passed the fucking ball in the final third. Shane says it's scary that Ten Hag doesn't want to make a sub against Newport. We're going to need a very big improvement against Wolves, aren't we? What a historic win if United can hold on, says Hatim. To be honest, from 2-2, I'm just very happy it's 3-2. I was really thinking we're heading to an Old Trafford replay here, which we just don't want. Erik ten Hag surely thinks the same way, doesn't he? Says Mario. No point buying another striker. We need a winger that passes and crosses. Bring back Giggs, says Rob. Colton Brothers, thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate that. I think in relation to subs, I'll say what I said on the preview the other night. I really do think if we'd been winning 4-0 after an hour, he would have brought McTominay on, he would have brought Eriksen on, he would have brought Maguire on, just to get them some minutes. But he just can't afford to do it. I think he's going to bring McTominay on for Mainu now to bring some physicality in to see this game out. Which tells you everything, doesn't it? Cross comes in. Goal kick. Mark, these are probably our favourite and preferred players. I'm concerned about the wingers, says Mario. Well, Maguire's not coming on. McTominay's coming on. After he's played with himself. Not the best look, was it? Oh, he's back doing it again now. Yeah, still there, Scott. Don't worry. 10 minutes to go. Scooby-Doo, says someone on TikTok there. I just saw the words. Why did you ignore my previous super chat, says Salim. I don't ignore anyone. Here's Garnacho. Is he going to pass? At some point, he'll score. Anthony. No, he wants to shoot. Mainu. Luke Shaw. Garnacho. No. As frustrating as Anthony is, Garnacho's making me pull my hair out, says Gooch. McTominay's coming on. Today I've become Erik ten Hag out, says Salim. The fact that this team doesn't know how to play with a striker is a disgrace. A good coach would have made the team adapt. It's Casemiro coming off for McTominay. I've read it, Salim. There you go. And I think Kamwala's coming on for Luke Shaw. And that must be a fitness thing. That must be to do with fitness. Must be to do with fitness. Player ratings, by the way, I'm just about to drop the link in the video description for you. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's in the video description of YouTube for you now. Star for your man of the match. I'm very interested to go through those on the match reaction show. Very interested, actually. Eriksen on and get more control in the midfield, says Conair. Mark, bring Beckham and Giggs on and get the crosses in, says Anthony. Ten Hag's insistence on playing Anthony is going to get him the sack, and Ahmad clearly deserved at least 20 minutes, says George. I'd probably start Ahmad and Pellistri against Wolves, bench the two selfish clowns, says Marco. Anthony, Garnacho, Rashford, all selfish and Ten Hag favourites. Pellistri unselfish, but going out on loan, not favoured either. Well, you know what, the Snail? The interesting thing as well is that Jadon Sancho is not a player that shoots either. So, look, Sancho's not in the team for different reasons, but if you want a different profile of winger, he isn't that sort of player either. I want one of the journalists to ask why the wide players don't clearly look for Rasmus, says PT5. I'd love that question to get asked. Jack says Scott hasn't had any balls for the past 5 years. Manish says, why is Rasmus passing but the wingers are not? So clearly it's not a game plan, but also Ten Hag is not telling them to stop shooting and play the simple pass. Yeah. The thing that frustrates me a little bit is that it's nice to see Anthony smiling, but but the thing is, he might think he's had a good game because he's got a goal and an assist, and that's fine. You know, it's better than, you know, if he doesn't have a goal and assist. I think he gets a lot of criticism, but I don't. You know, it goes back to the same old question: why are we happy with such selfishness on the wings? It's mad. I think Rasmus at Arsenal would be a very, very good player. Someone just said it in the chat there. I think Rasmus at Arsenal would be a good player. I think Rasmus at Chelsea would be a good player. I think Rasmus at Liverpool would be a good player. Like, I think Rasmus where he gets service would be a good player. He's not had a shot on goal. In 85 minutes, he's not actually been gifted a chance. And you get people who don't watch United who'll go, oh, Rasmus is a flop. If he's a flop, it's not because of him. United still showing no style of play against Newport. Would that worry you, Mark, says Mr. McGregor? Not really, no. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think unless we'd have won 6-0 here today, we were never going to be coming out of this with people were just going to say it's only Newport. I mean, I don't know what the referee's doing here anyway. I think the wingers has to be coming from the coaches. They can't all be doing it with the manager allowing it. It's a mess, says Ian. United still showing no style of play. Evening, Mark. This is another typical performance from United's wingers. Selfish defence, shaky, and no service to the strikers, says Mohammed. Well, it is. You know, there'll be a press conference for the Wolves game, and if these journalists actually know what they're talking about, then they should 100% be asking the manager, why is it that... And you don't need to be direct. You just go, you know, you beat Newport at the weekend. Numerous shots, numerous chances created, but nothing created for your striker. There seems to be a tendency from your wingers to shoot instead of finding the striker. Is that a tactical plan? Leave it at that. Medical emergency apparently, says Louis. Thank you very much for that. Medical emergency in the stands. Clusterfuck says we're crap on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, by the way, and you want to get involved in the player ratings, theunitedstand.com is the place to do it, or just pop over to YouTube and you'll see the link in the video description. We use that for the match reaction show afterwards. Why don't the wingers pass cross the ball into the 6-yard box? It always shoots or cross cutbacks. It's a great point, Christopher. I mean, even when they do put a cross in, it's crap because it's not a proper cross. Well, it's that time of the again. I mean, look, there might be another twist in the tail here, but it is that time again. If I was asking you to describe this game, Harry Maguire's going to come on here. I think Forson's going to come on as well. If you were to describe this game in one word for me, how would you describe it? I mean, Man United are sort of parking the bus a little bit here now. Painful. Anthony comes off. Real Talking Pods just gifted 5 memberships in the YouTube chat, by the way. Legend. The year is 2099. Ten Hag still doesn't have a style of football. The future is bright, says Space Oddie. Embarrassing is a word that's been used there. Harry Maguire's on, yeah. He's not going to get... There he is, look. Number 5. He's back. He's been injured for like 2 months. Look at this. Look at his face. He's so proud. Do you want to sit underneath for it? You better be a good luck charm. Now, this is Seb's moment of 2024. Maguire's back. It's true. He's your favourite player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who's your second favourite player?
Casemiro.
He was back from injury today as well. What about Rasmus?
Yeah.
Oh. Still time. Still time. The return of Maguire. Yeah, I sort of agree with people. Embarrassing is probably a more relevant word than... I can't see if it's... Move off that. We can sit on the edge if you want. There's a bit of seat there. I sort of agree with embarrassing. Have you watched any of it?
Oh, yeah?
You're doing better off playing with your Lego, mate. It's not been the best. Should be beating this team about 6-0.
Yeah.
They just don't pass, control and move. They're always shooting. You were on about this morning, weren't you? You can't shoot all the time.
Gotta look for you. If you've got the ball, the other people need to look for space so you can pass.
Do you want a job at United? Looks like Ten Hag is saving McTominay for the big game, says Stephen Bell. Well, they just had a shot there, Newport, from way out. I think he was the guy who scored the goal in the first half, actually. 9 minutes? Oh, you don't want to wait and watch this, mate. You'll have a bad back. It's going to be boring. I'll tell you if Maguire scores. He had a match this morning. I was talking to him about football, and he was saying that it frustrates him a little bit in his team because people shoot when there's a pass on. And I went, pfft. And that's under sevens. That's under sevens football. Because Seb plays at the back, and he's like, sometimes we get in really good positions, but people shoot instead of playing the extra pass. That's from a 6-year-old. God's honest truth. He plays in a team, and he said, we get into really good positions, but sometimes we shoot when we should play another pass. Under sevens football from a 6-year-old. This is Man United paying hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, and we do it every fucking week. Shoot when there's a better pass. Ridiculous. That's the thing, though. It's so basic, the mistakes that Manchester United make. Seb should manage Man United. He has more of a clue than these wingers, says David. Well, I think all of us do. Goalkeepers at City and Liverpool rarely have to make a save in some big games, but our striker doesn't get a decent pass against the worst teams. Dowell. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to put the tweet out. If you follow me on @Mark Goldbridge, maybe you want to give it a retweet. 90 minutes. Not one chance. Well, I've just tweeted it. 90 minutes and not one chance created for our striker against the mid-table League 2 side. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And you know what? Amongst all this, we are a United channel, but we should also take into account that Newport do deserve credit for their ability to stay in this game from 2-0. The counterplay to possession and passing is wasteful play. We do both and end up cancelling out. Can Seb play on the wing, says SK. Thank you very much for that super chat. Seb for Director of Football, says Daryl. The players are not bad, they're just not professional. They look at bottom side teams and find them not worthy of efforts, just mediocre every match, says Anant. No pattern of play from wingers, that's a problem, says the Wheelbarrow. And Sashin says this is not the first game the wingers are being selfish. Either Ten Hag is instructing them not to pass, or they're not listening. Either way, it's disgusting. You can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. Oh, Forsen. Rasmus. And he scores! First chance and he scores. Get the fuck in. 4-2. Wow, that's just pure frustration, isn't it? One chance, one goal. It's that simple. One chance, one goal. It's that simple. Give him the fucking chance and he'll score the fucking goals. Get in. I mean, a very, very, very frustrating watch for Manchester United fans today. But imagine what it is like playing up front. And he doesn't even get any service here. It's just battle. He battles it himself. He doesn't get a pass. This isn't an assist. This is just, I'm in the right place at the right time, fights to win it, and then bang. I mean, you're creating your own chances here, mate. Give him fucking service in the box. Somebody said it earlier. Put him in an Arsenal team, put him in a Liverpool team, and he'll score goals. Look at that. It's just pure frustration. I'm glad he got his goal, though, because, you know, his confidence will drop if he's not scoring goals, and he's not getting any bloody service. So, well, that's breathing space anyway. Still 4 minutes to go here. Newport are having to push. We could turn this into 5. Rasmus is the pass. Here we go. He'll go himself here. No, he actually will put a cross in because he's not selfish. Bruno. Oh, a bit selfish there. That forward run from Kobe, says the contrarian. Dan Barbage, thank you very much for your super chat as well. Who's Seb's favourite Man United player, says Alexander. No, it genuinely is Harry Maguire. Look, let your kids have their favourites. I'm not, you know, this time. Don't forget to do your player ratings. We're live straight after this on YouTube with my match reaction show, and then we've got the studio show as well. On my match reaction, we'll be going through the player ratings. I'm very interested to see what you vote today, actually. 4-2 to Manchester United, but have enough players perform to the level that you would want them to in this sort of a game? Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, and put a star for your man of the match. And then on the match reaction show, it aggregates all your scores into an aggregate score for each player. So get involved in that. Links in the description on YouTube, or you can, if you're on TikTok, just come across to YouTube or go to unitedstand.com. Johnny Evans is coming on now for the last 3 minutes. Are we parking the bus here? Are we parking the bus? Remember, we are through to the next round, and we will be away again, probably against Nottingham Forest, who play a replay against Bristol, having drawn on Friday night, 0-0. So United stay in the tournament. Made hard work of it, no doubt about that. They should get the ball to Rasmus more, says Bora. The Rasmus no longer in the shadows, says JJ. Too easy, switch to ultimate, says Claudio. Garnacho didn't celebrate with Højlund, selfish, says Sai. Are we genuinely going to... I don't know about that. I don't. Are we looking for problems there? It's Manchester United. Surely you can't have a... Oh, McTominay might be... He's giving a foul away there. Rasmus. I'm glad he's got his goal because there's been shit all service for him today. In a way, I've actually just enjoyed winning this. And in a way, we should... as much as it's been painful at times and a little bit embarrassing, I do think that Hypnotic says all the best for Seb's next game. He's in a good team. They've got some good players. It's been nice to watch a game. Good save by Bienda there. It's been nice to watch a game at a little ground. And I'm not being disrespectful to that. You know, seeing people on the road on scaffolding watching it. You know, the stand that's been temporarily put up, the burger vans. It's been nice to see that. And you know, when you're a Premier League supporter, you don't really get to see this side of English football. You know, I get down Solihull Moors quite a lot, and I love it. I love the lower leagues, and but you know, from a United point of view, it's not been great. Hi Mark, please say hi to my mate Loza Phillips. Another poor performance, but a win is a win. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Absolute legends. Nice to be back watching Man United, in a way. In a way. This is the sort of thing you get. Big shout out to the TikTok lot as well. Slug123 has just said, if you could bring someone back from the dead, who would it be? No family or friends. Is that football related, or is that just bring anybody back? I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think about that. Legends, everybody in the chat. I'm going to go straight over to YouTube now. Oh, I'm on YouTube. I'm going to straight over to my match reaction. Don't forget, you can go in the link in the video description in this video or the match reaction. Get your votes in relation to that. Play like this against Wolves and we'll lose comfortably, says HW. Do you reckon Seb could go professional one day? Does he stand out for his under-7s? Would love to see him playing for United, says Chris. I don't know. There's so many Mbappe projects. We're going down a different project in relation to the style of player he's going to be. So, you know, you'll have to wait and see. There's some good players. He plays for some good players. I mean, one of them scored an absolute worldie last week on the volley. It was unbelievable. Anyway, big shout out to everyone on TikTok for tuning in. Absolute legends on there. Lovely to have you as part of the live chat. If you want to be part of the match reaction, we're not on TikTok for that. We're going to be on YouTube for that. If you're on YouTube, I'll see you over there in a minute on the match reaction. Speak to you all in a bit.